Welcome back to Our Swans Walk. Well, Swansea made it official an hour ago before we came on air. They confirmed the sacking and the parting of the ways of head coach Luke Williams. Immediate flurries like Josh here, tweeting pictures of bring Russell Martin home. We'll get into that in a second. Welcome back to Our Swans Walk. We are talking about the dismissal of Luke Williams. Who next for Swans as well? Who deserves to be in that dugout of this famous old club? Plus, we're talking about who deserves to be promoted and what is the worst ever Swansea kit, which I think James is already having a modelling for us. Welcome back, James, and of course, Richard. Thank you very much for watching. 20 minutes of Swansea chat. Right then, Rich, good to see you again. Your emotions, your thoughts with today's news would be what?
I'm disappointed. I think personally, as the way I speak, I'm a big fan of Luke, and I think he just hasn't really had the chance to have the players to really turn things round. January was a nightmare. The captain went. We weren't back like we were supposed to be. And in the end, unfortunately, since Grimes has gone as well, the results got worse. And as James is probably going to say, the dressing room had gone. And there's only one thing that happens when that is, and that change needs to come somewhere. And the board's not going nowhere. So the manager's gone. So that's it, I'm afraid.
Yeah. Do we need to say thank you to him? I mean, he gave you that famous win against Cardiff last season. Any other fond memories? I mean, he's a decent guy, Rich, isn't he? Deep down. He's a little bit misunderstood, I think, at times because some of the comments he makes. But overall, he unlike Duffy, got the club, didn't he?
I think he gave his all. No one can say that he didn't give his all to the job, and I think he worked hard and tirelessly trying to get the results. And at Christmas time, no one can really disagree with. We were going in the right direction, and I can only say, if a few things had been different from there, we could have pushed on and had a reasonable finish. And then look to the summer to build on. He was on a 3-year deal. That next year would have been his last year. And I would have liked to have seen it gone next season now, built with a team trying to play the way that we want to play, but with the players we had. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I'm sad to see him go, but new start now. We'll see what happens from here.
Yeah, we'll look at the Bookies odds in a second. For regular viewers, you'll have tuned in every week. You'll have heard James ever since that West Brom offer was made on here saying he's got to go. His time is up. So now it's happened. James, you must be ecstatic.
Again, it's come a month too late for me, if I'm being really honest. When he threw his toys out with the pram after West Brom, again, nothing's really changed for me. And his antics over the last few weeks have really sort of got on my back a little bit. That performative huddle in front of the away end at Bristol City when I went up to watch that, to then scarpering down the tunnel at successive home defeats, willing to front up and take the applause, but not willing to front up and send his players over to get the ire of the fans. 1 win in 9 says it all. Again, club dragging its feet over it, and once again put in my opinion, the glorified cone collector and Alan Sheehan in charge again. And we all saw how this went last time. It was a protracted audition to try and give him the job full time. Again, it's a flat circle with Swansea City. We found ourselves in this exact position 1 year ago, and we're in it again now.
Yes, let's jump into those thoughts then, shall we? Let's generally wish Luke Williams well, of course. And it's a difficult job management, and obviously he seems a very decent man. And I think our lasting memory, certainly on this, I was discussing, will be him downing them shots when he after the derby last season. Yes, so Marge and Sheehan can take charge now, and this is the exact reason why Grimes ended his goodbye post with "back the manager," says Rossi. 2 guys who basically made Luke's jobs impossible and repeatedly said they need bigger lads in the midfield whilst Grimes was still here. Do you agree with that, Rich?
Well, everyone's going to have their opinions on what's going to make you better as a side. You can only work with what you got. I'm sure Luke would have liked a mixture of players to have called upon at different times for different games. So we move on now, and we back what we've got. The guys will go, and you'll probably get a response on Saturday against Blackburn. They usually try and produce some sort of performance after a manager's left. So that can only be a good thing. And yeah, I'm hoping there was one little bit in the statement they said today about the wheels are in motion to getting somebody in. So I'm hoping for once we might actually have somebody lined up. Fingers crossed. It's not the way things have been in the last couple of seasons, but if there might be a bit of light at the end of the tunnel.
It took far too long last time, didn't it? Let's hope doesn't take that long. James Ollie says, really hope I'm not reading too much into the word interim instead of caretaker. Under zero circumstances should the job go to Alan Sheehan. And I think he's hopefully not. It's not going to go to him, is it? Let's be honest.
I hope not, because his football is absolutely dross. Like those games that he had us at last time, it was my neck was hurting from how long the ball was in the air. Sometimes, it was shocking. And what Rossi was saying there, I've been told by multiple other people as well that they have far too much influence at this club, and that they've been trying to impart their own ideas on it. Which you can read into that what way. And again, I'm only passing on what I've been told. That can make quite a difficult environment to work in if you've got one person who's got a certain set of ideals and you've got others who perhaps got people's gear that have got a different set of ideals. But I'll just say this. He was brought here by Paul Watson and tacked onto Michael Duff's staff, and nobody endorsed by Paul Watson should ever take charge of Swansea City. I'll just leave it at that.
Okay. There is a further view that actually the club haven't gone far enough. Alex says they've been part of 2 failed regimes in 18 months. They both should have been sent packing today. And Rossi says that's the first question that needs to be asked at the forum. I believe the forum is cancelled. Is that correct? Yeah. Okay. Which may or may not be a mistake. Who knows? James, do you think also they should have been set the marching orders as well?
Absolutely. Yeah. I think if you want someone to come in here and really make a difference and really make things their own, you can't have people hanging on from a past regime there. Again, it's that clash of ideals again. If you want to bring a manager in and you want to give them full backing and full confidence, you allow them to bring their own staff in to a certain extent. People like Chris O'Leary, I'd be happy to keep here. He's been around the club a very long time. Past player for us. His intentions with the club. As for the other 2 assistants, I can't speak to their intentions. But again, who's the common denominator between Michael Duff and Luke Williams? I'll leave people to draw their own conclusions there.
Okay. All right. Well, very politically put. Good. Let's look at the bookies odds then for the next Swansea City manager, shall we? Now, this was taken about an hour and a half ago, so these things always change. But Rich, Steve Cooper is right at the top there, 6-5. We've got Robert Page, Russell Martin, Sean Dyche is in there as well. I can't believe Tim Walter gets a mention. Please do not appoint him. Ian Everett, Stuart Maynard, Matt Sadler. What names get you out your seat there, Rich?
Wow. It's a bit interesting, that one, isn't it? Steve Cooper is certainly effective, and we nearly did go up under him, but it wasn't really a Swansea style of play really as such. But I don't know. You always say never go back, and you'd say the same with Russ. But Russ would be I'd have him back in a heartbeat. But there's no way after all the legal stuff they've had with the club that would ever go through again. Nothing really excites me on there particularly. Sean Dyche could keep you up, but you won't score any goals. It won't be fun to watch, will it? But
you have a neck ache. But
and certainly not Rob Page.
Yes, I didn't think Rob Page would be. I'm surprised he's second favourite. I really am. James, who on that list, or any other names that you've heard? Please don't appoint Stephen Gerrard, by the way. If his name comes anywhere near your club, I am done talking.
Literally nobody on that list gets me out of my seat apart from the wrong reasons. I want to slam my head into the wall, to be fair, if I'm being really honest with you. I'd like us to go with someone probably a bit more left field, if I'm being honest. I've heard Knutson being mentioned as one of the potential managers from overseas. Again, that's just speculation of people saying what they would like. The only real person I would take on that list there is Russell Martin, but as Rich was saying, I think too much has gone on there, and I think it's too soon maybe for him to come back. Probably things are still a little bit raw. But yeah, none of those names told me with any confidence, which kind of shows you the sort of waters we're fishing in at the moment.
Okay, let us know. Let us know in the comments. We've still got a game going on, of course, this weekend. It's, as you mentioned, it's managerless Blackburn. Rich, do you expect then to be some impact from this? Do you think he'd lost a little bit of the dressing room and a little bit of the players?
I can only say just by the performances recently that perhaps that could be the case. You'll never know for sure, but we have been on a downward spiral in the last month, and as things have gone wrong, as James has pointed out, he has come out and has criticised the players quite regularly, and perhaps not taken enough hit on his own back. And it goes back as well to that time where he said about Matt Grimes was the influence in the changing rooms at half time, and he was doing nothing. And it's all these little things have kind of cropped up, and they've added together. But I do expect a response, I think, naturally. But like you say, Blackburn, managerless as well, will be looking to do the same. But the crowd will rally behind, and I think we'll probably be excited now for the match to come and be hopeful that we're going to play a little bit better brand of football. I think that's half the thing we've lost in the last sort of couple of months is, we don't look like creating chances. That's all we want. We want to see a performance which is going to create chances. We can see some goals, and that's if we lose, we lose.
Okay. We haven't talked about the Stoke game. I don't think we need to. Did we learn anything, James, apart from what a goal from the halfway line Stoke scored?
I did see another Championship podcast outfit say that there was not a lot in that technique, and I would love to see them try to recreate that goal, to be honest, because from what I saw, it was an absolute screamer. It only taught me that our players think they can just pass the ball and stand still. It's just more of the same, really. And I think I put a prediction out there saying that we'd lose the game by conceding absolutely unnecessary goals. And we conceded 2 from set pieces. And look, our set piece coach is going to be in charge of us now for the next couple of weeks.
Can only get better, can it? Let's hope. Right, thank you very much, both of you, for that. 2 little things then before we finish. We're looking at the worst ever Swansea kits in a second, but we're also making some predictions about the league. It's 12 games left. Who'd have thought that? The season's gone so quickly. So we're asking you about who's going up and who's going down, and where's everyone going to finish. Let's start with the top then. As we record this, Sunderland have just scored against Leeds, so this table is incorrect. But Rich, who deserves to go up for you in terms of which of these 4 have played the better against Swansea?
Well, I always think Leeds are a quality outfit, and I look back to last year and they were brilliant, when they came down here. They lost a few players and they brought a few in, but there for me should be the team that should be number 1 in the league. This year's league is a bit weaker in my opinion, and the sides aren't quite as strong. But you're looking at different types of sides, and I was listening to a couple of guys earlier on. Burnley not conceding any goals, so you could say that it's a great base, nicking the games here and there. So for me, those 2 have been the ones. Sheffield United, I do think they may drop off and be the playoff ones, and someone else might sneak up. So I'm going Leeds for me.
Okay, James.
The best team I think that I've seen play against us this season, Sunderland. Absolutely phenomenal in that second half against. I think Regis Labrie's got them playing fantastic football. They've got exciting talents in Bellingham, Chris Rigg, and they've got Enzo Lefebvre on loan. When we played in that first half, they came out, and I don't know what he did with the team at half time, but they completely blew us away, and it just turned the game like that. I'd love to see them go up. It's a massive club. Again, it's not the same suspects going up and down between the Prem and the Championship, so I'd absolutely love to see them go up.
Brilliant. All right, Leeds and Sunderland. Good shouts. Thank you very much. And before we let you go, we'll look at some kits in a second, but please drop us a subscribe on this channel. It's really entertaining talking to this lot from my point of view every single week, and I hope you enjoy listening to them as well. So do drop us a like and do drop us a subscribe if you haven't yet come across the channel. Right, what's the worst ever Swansea kit then that we've seen? I'll float some up on the screen here that have been sent in from various... Oops, sorry, that's the wrong button. We've done that one. yeah, there's some shockers on. Some people might argue that green one's that bad, is it, Rich?
I had that green one, yeah. I owned that one when I was a bit slimmer back in the day. It was about, yeah, that was a decent kit. I didn't like that mauve one. That's one of my worst ones. And there's one I've got. So do you want me to tell you yet? The one, one?
Yeah, go on.
The one about 4 years ago. We had it's kind of like turquoise and raspberry, and it was just it looked like a children's art had been a bit on it as well. You know, it was horrendous.
Let's look at some more. Now, where's this from? This is from. I've got the year for this, I think, somewhere. No, I didn't. I did have it somewhere. Yeah, it's just too busy this shirt, isn't it? It looks like Port Vale, I think. There's not too many. Swansea should be 2 colours, I think, should do it at max. I don't know what you think about that one. 95, there you are. 1995 kit.
Yeah,
that one.
The arms on that.
This one.
The old twirl wrapper kit.
Yeah,
that's got memories of the Europa League. So that one's got a special place in my heart. That one has.
Fair enough. This is a shocker. Yeah,
mashy, that isn't it? A little bit.
It is, isn't it? Yeah. Again, I wish I put the years on for this one.
I remember that. That's 90s as well.
Yeah. Orange on kits shouldn't be seen, should it? That's a bad one. And this one, I think this wins it for me. But I don't know what somebody in the comments will hopefully tell us what year this was, but that can't be a Swansea City shirt, can it?
That's around 95 again. It's around that. Gold foil.
94. Any that we've missed?
Not that I can think of. I will say, that one with the hoops. Is it the green hoops one with Baffa-Timmy Gomez in it? I'm sure we had like one of the worst away runs when we were wearing that shirt as well. I'm sure there's a stat out there that I think we only won like 4 times away from home that season whilst wearing that kit. So there's a little bit of a curse on it. And Rich, the one you mentioned, the blue and raspberry one, just always reminds me of Wembley because we wore it in the playoff final. So that one is just like major bad memories of that one as well.
Right,
I'm sure this would be in there if this wasn't a training shirt as well.
Oh yeah, the training shirt, that is god awful. Yeah,
it's a bit of a mess.
Got your pajamas on, isn't it? All right, let us know in the comments what we've missed. Thank you, James. Thank you, Rich. Of course, if we hear any breaking news, then we'll be chatting about it next week. I do not appoint Stephen Gerrard. Do not do it. I know his name's going to come up. It does with everything. Right, cheers, James.